Alright, so I'm going to start this video by giving out a special little PSA to all my hardcore Marvel stans out there. Look, I know you guys, such as myself, love Marvel from the very bottom depths of your heart. You really want every Marvel project to succeed. We have loved what we've gotten over the past 10 plus years of our favorite superheroes coming to life and just being blown away by whatever's shown on screen. What Kevin Feige here has created has been something to definitely be in awe of over the past, what I say, like decade plus? Yeah, over the past few decades, And look, like I said, as much as we want all new projects, all new shows, movies, events, blah, 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 as much as we want a lot of these to succeed, I promise you guys it's okay to admit when something is mid. I had that problem myself. I couldn't, I had the Marvel wool over my eyes, and everything that Marvel put out, I always wanted to praise, and I thought it was a freaking fantastic, amazing, incredible, all that other stuff. Guys, it's okay to admit when something is mid, because look, I'll be honest here, the people that are going so hard for this movie to say that it's incredible, it's this, fuck Rotten Tomatoes, all that good stuff, please stop going that hard, because the movie is not that good, and you're really just embarrassing yourself as far as like what you think good content is, because this is far from it. While it's not as bad, it is not as bad as what people are making it out to be. It's not as bad, trust me, but I promise you, it really ain't as good as people are making out to seem either. This movie it's a Quantumania for sure. Look, without further ado, guys, this is my review for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantummania. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, starring Paul Rudd, Jonathan Majors, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. And our story follows our favorite hero, he's one of my favorite heroes. He's following our favorite small fry Ant-Man, and essentially he is just stuck in a rut at this point. He doesn't necessarily know what to do with his life after, saving the world and things like that, being a whole big Avenger, and so on and so forth. So he's kind of stuck in a rut, doesn't really know what to do. His daughter presents him with this project to where she's been sending signals out into the quantum realm. They finally get a signal back, and they all get sucked into the quantum realm and end up having to try to find a way to escape, while also finding a brand new enemy that we're all going to be very afraid of for the next maybe like 3-4 plus years, and that's Kang, Jonathan Majors Kang. And really that's the gist of the plot here, guys. I'm gonna be really real with you. There's not much of a plot that they're really giving us here. This movie sort of reminded me of like an anime filler episode, a very good anime filler episode, in the sense of filler episodes suck. Everybody hates filler episodes. They're not that good, but there's always those filler episodes that come along once in a while that actually were pretty good. It's just leading to something coming on later into the series. That's exactly what this is. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing everybody's going to come out and collectively agree on that they loved about this movie was Jonathan Majors as Kang. We all knew from his appearance in Loki that Jonathan Majors was coming with a full force of nothing but outstanding acting and just a tour de force of being a scene-stealing presence the entire time he's on screen. I mean, this dude, Jonathan Majors, has range. I mean, this dude has to play multiple different variants of Kang, and they give him an opportunity to do so in this film, and it's absolutely incredible. First of all, guys, look, this is a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to go into crazy details on, pivotal plot points or pivotal things that happen in the movie itself. There is one thing, however, and I will give a little warning about it, that I do kind of want to touch on, because it does have an effect of my viewpoint on the movie, but I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll let you know. But other than that, this is spoiler free. Let's get into it. Like I said, guys, Jonathan Majors is what everybody's going to collectively come out and say, that guy was freaking incredible. I mean, Jonathan Majors is, as far as I'm concerned, he's carrying Marvel on his back right now, because there's not really anybody else trying to step up to the plate and match this guy's energy. Because, I mean, honestly, it's going to be hard to match this guy's energy, because, like I said, this dude's a scene stealer. Every time Kang is on screen, every time Jonathan Majors is doing his Kang thing, I mean, you're just completely just taken away. But your breath is just taken away by what's going on. Jonathan Majors is absolutely killing it. I loved everything about Kang in this film. I loved his power display. I loved his dialogue. I loved his vengeance. I loved his he doesn't show any mercy, if we're being honest. I mean, he's trying to build up to essentially what his ultimate plan is, but it's like the more you're learning about Kang, the more time you spend with Kang throughout the film, the more you just absolutely adore what Jonathan Majors brings to the table in films. And like I said, Jonathan Majors is carrying a majority of this film on the back, because as far as the rest of the film goes, it's as mid as you can possibly get. Look, the quantum realm is beautiful. It's a lot of CGI blobbiness all over the place, I won't lie. Like, some stuff just looks ridiculous, but I mean, the quantum realm itself is beautiful. It's fun. I saw this movie in IMAX. I will encourage you to probably see it that way, because I can't imagine on a standard screen this stuff looks as good as it does on the IMAX screen. But like I said, the quantum realm looks beautiful. That's all fine. I love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I enjoy the Ant-Man movies. I actually enjoy the dynamic between the characters themselves, Hope, Hank, everybody, the entire family themselves, Cassie. I love Ant-Man. I do. I just didn't love this movie as much as I wanted to. Look, I walked in with this movie, and yes, let's just address the elephant in the room. This movie has one of the, it's competing for the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score for a Marvel movie of all time. I think Eternals has a 47. This movie's sitting at a 48 right now. Has one of the biggest, well, not one of the biggest audience scores, but a very big audience score in an 84%, where people are absolutely loving this movie. Like I said, people are just very people are very just either hating this movie or loving this movie. There's really no in between. Me, I'm not going to say I hated the movie, but I definitely didn't like this movie as much as I wanted to. First of all, I'm going to say this. Marvel is clearly showing me that they are just not learning their lessons from all of these previous projects, such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, projects like that, where they're really just throwing this comedic tone all over the place, and they're not really trying to get a sense of a serious tone here. They're really just missing the mark on that a lot. I'm really, really getting tired of the villains just being so outstanding that the movie just can't match their energy and give us really like a more serious tone. Because yes, comedic relief is needed in some situations, but Marvel has just gotten too big for its britches. They have gone overboard with the jokes. So I guess the jokes are one of the first things that I just completely did not like about this film. This film is repetitive in the sense that they have just completely not learned their lessons. They just continue to throw joke after joke after joke in there. I mean, this movie had so much potential. First of all, I walked in expecting like an event-esque movie. So a Spider-Man No Way Home, an Avengers, not necessarily Endgame or Infinity War, but at least like an Age of Ultron-esque event movie, because we're introducing Kang here. This is a very big villain. This is not just your normal run-of-the-mill, just random little entry villain. Like, no, this is a very big villain who has a very big purpose, a very big story. There's very big things that need to happen in this movie, and it just didn't. Why? Because it's the beginning of the phase, and they can't necessarily do too much with Kang. Like that, like they can't necessarily display his full array of power. They can't necessarily do everything they want to, because there's so much more to come. I mean, honestly, like, okay, so first things first, the jokes, they're just too repetitive. It's just completely, it's out of control at this point. Marvel needs to stop. Marvel needs to stop with all this damn joking. Paul Rudd himself, like I said, the dynamic between Hank, Hope, Scott, everybody in the film, the dynamic between the family is amazing. They're funny within themselves. They don't really need all the extra dialogue to help them out. And that goes for the side characters too. Look, there's this Adult Swim show I watch called Smiling Friends, where it's one of those animated shows where like really random shit kind of happens just to make you laugh out of nowhere. Like somebody will make a random noise, a scream, or just do something really dumb. And it's funny in the sense of those shows, because that show is just doing nothing but stupid stuff. Marvel takes stuff like that and puts it into these movies, and it just becomes so stupid. By the beginning of the film, in the beginning of the film, maybe like the first like 30, 40 minutes of the film, I'm kind of just describing this film as a really bad acid trip. I'm just seeing a lot of weird stuff going on. It's not really the best written movie. Like I clearly from the beginning of this film, once we are in the quantum realm and we're kind of just walking around in there with the characters, seeing what's down there, at some point like early in the movie, I kind of realized, yeah, this movie has nothing to offer us but Kang. This movie really ain't trying to build its own world. It's not really trying to make the quantum realm its own thing. It's not really trying to expand that universe. It's just showing us different locations, it's showing us characters, but it's not really doing a very successful job at world building. What I mean is, they just take these characters and they let them make all them stupid noises. They turn all these characters, all these side characters into memes. Like the guy, I don't necessarily know the actor's name, but he's from Love Life. Let me see if I can pull his name up. William Jackson Harper. He plays Quaz. And honestly, Quaz is a very brilliant being. He's completely wasted. He's used for all dick jokes and just absolutely just dumb gag jokes, man. It's just ridiculous. And, okay, so clearly you know by now that the jokes have just pissed me off. One more thing I will say about the jokes, MODOK. MODOK I enjoyed when he first showed up on screen. By the end, I was rolling my eyes completely. I could not stand MODOK. He just became a walking, talking meme head at that point. And yes, MODOK is a very big head, and it's easy for him to become memeable. But what I mean is, let the audience turn him into a meme. Don't you just take the character and just keep turning him to a big joke just because it's a floating head. Like, I understand it's a floating head and things like that, and MODOK is very self-aware and like he has funny moments, but like I said, you're just turning these characters into complete memes at this point, and it's not even making for entertainment at this point. Like, it's really, like I said, it's really just a repetitive tone of what everything else, like all Thor Love and Thunder, Strange. The only consistent, or the only projects I can say that consistently match the tone of the previous phases, like 3, 2, and 1, are from Phase 4 are Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, and Black Panther. Other than that, Marvel has shown that they have just either gotten too big for their britches, or they just don't know what they're trying to do as far as like tone-wise. They just don't know how to create a serious tone anymore. Everything has to have a joke. Everything has to be funny. It doesn't have to be. Everything does not have to be that hilarious. Another thing that I just truly didn't enjoy about this movie, like I said, personally, it's just repeating its same problems that we've had before. A lot of the comments that people are, or a lot of the issues that people are having with this movie are the same things that you'll see in other movies. You'll see that they just describe the movie as fun. They say there's too many jokes. They say the plot is pretty choppy. Like I said, personally, there's no plot here whatsoever. For this to be an Ant-Man trilogy, and the third movie in an Ant-Man franchise, it's not necessarily focused on Ant-Man at all, if I'm being real. There's nothing that happens in the film that truly moves the needle for Scott's character, other than the fact that he ran into a big bad and he doesn't know if the guy's coming back or not. Like, that's really the only thing that happened to Scott in this film, and they're not necessarily treating it as his movie. Like, yes, Ant-Man is truly the only reason Ant-Man is really here is because we're in the quantum realm. That's where he's stuck. That's where, and Ant-Man was the one that introduced that. Truly, other than that, there's no reason that Paul Rudd had to be the first guy to really, meet Kang. He didn't really have to be the first guy to run into him, but it is what it is. Like I said, that's where Kang is stuck, so Ant-Man kind of just falls into that. But the movie really doesn't give Scott's character any purpose, any growth at all. Like I said, it's the end of a trilogy. From all the other trilogies, say what you want about the Iron Man trilogy, but at least we got character development for Tony in all 3 films, whether or not it was very stupid character development like Iron Man 2, or very risky character development, but actually sort of paid off, in my opinion, in Iron Man 3. Every trilogy has given these characters some sort of character growth. Even Thor Ragnarok gave Thor character growth. Spider-Man No Way Home, perfect example, gave Peter the greatest character growth. Captain America, all 3 films, Winter Soldier, Civil War, the First Avenger, all of those movies, well, that's not the order that those movies came out in, of course, but all those movies gave these characters character growth, and we get none from Paul Rudd here. Like, Ant-Man is just treated as, he's in the quantum realm, so we just need you to go down there, meet him, come on back up, buddy, and get ready for Phase 5. And it's like, that's basically how this movie is treated. I mean, like I said, there's a lack of a plot. It's fun in quotations. I mean, honestly, I stopped having fun maybe like after like an hour into this, maybe like an hour and 20 minutes into this thing. I kind of just wanted it to end. And now here's my kind of spoiler, quote unquote, spoiler warning, not really spoiler-esque territory. A lot of people are going to be disappointed in the fact, and this was already alluded to, or a lot of people were doing their theories before this movie came out, so I'm just going to say it. A lot of people were expecting Scott to die, or they were expecting Ant-Man to be dead after this film. They were expecting some very big stakes to happen in this movie, and Personally, I never thought that was the case. If for whatever reason, if some characters in this film died, nobody does. Like I said, spoiler warning, I apologize. Nobody in this film dies at all. I mean, there are deaths, but as far as like pivotal deaths that will actually affect audiences to their core or shake us to our core, no, there's no pivotal deaths. There's no anything in this film to really move the needle on character development at all in this film. Like I said, personally, I feel like the film kind of hurt itself making Kang the villain because Marvel knows how big of an influence or how important this guy's story is to whatever they're building to next, and it's like they can't really give Ant-Man the focus he needs because they have to make sure that not only they're not doing too much to really spoil and give away all the things that Kang can do, but they have to, do enough to try to make a decent enough entry film. It just didn't work. It just really didn't work what they were trying for here. Like I said, I was expecting some sort of big eventful type movie where we're really setting the tone for Phase 5, where we're really sitting here and we are actually like, I wanted to walk out going, oh my god, Kang is here, it is happening, this dude means business, this is no joke, what's yada yada yada. And while I can still say all of those things, I can't say it as intensely as I want to and how passionately as I want to, just because the rest of the movie, other than Kang, does not deliver on any of the it doesn't deliver on anything that I wanted from this movie, man. I was just solely disappointed. I was very disappointed throughout the film. Like I said, it's not as bad as what people are saying, but what people are saying is they're really tired of just watching the same crap over and over and over. The mistreatment of characters, the stand-up comedy acts that y'all turn these movies into. We're really getting tired of it. We're really seeing through. People are really starting to see through the bullshit because once Thor: Love and Thunder came out, initial reactions, people were saying they had a lot of fun. People were saying this, that, and the third. They actually really enjoyed it. And then over time, people really started to think and realize, that movie wasn't as good as we were saying it was. And I think this movie, Quantumania, is a result of, that formula y'all keep trying ain't gonna work no more. We're seeing through the bullshit. We understand that shit sucks. Y'all need to change that. It has to change. I feel so bad for the cast and crew of this film. It's crazy because they even did an interview with Michael Douglas saying, would you come back for another one if they were to do it? He said, only if they kill me off. Like, I don't blame you, bro, because this right here is absolutely ridiculous. This is such a mistreatment of all the characters that we've grown to know and love in this franchise. Even Cassie in this movie, Catherine Newton, I'm going to be honest with you. It may not be your fault, sweetie, that you were given such shit writing, but I did not enjoy your character whatsoever. I'm sorry. There were better. I would rather we went with the girl from Endgame who played his daughter as Cassie. I just didn't get it here. I mean, you would have thought Cassie's dialogue was taken from Dragon Tales. It was such kiddish bullshit. I didn't understand what was going on here. I mean, this movie solely disappointed me, man. I was like, overall, guys, look. The only thing good about this movie is Kang. The rest of it is just a conglomerate of straight mid. People gotta stop praising the mid because this is what's making Marvel think that it's okay to put stuff out like this. And maybe I should say this, guys. Rotten Tomatoes is not a single person trying to ruin everybody's movie experience by putting out bad reviews about the film. It is a combination of a bunch of different verified critics who all are putting in their opinions. It's put into this algorithm and they come out with a percentage of how many of them liked the film, how many of them didn't. That's where they get the scores from. It's not just one person completely just shitting on the film and just giving out whatever score they want to give it. No, that just makes me upset when I see people just keep saying fuck Rotten Tomatoes, don't let Rotten Tomatoes ruin your movie. And while that statement is very true, I think y'all are giving Rotten Tomatoes too much credit as to thinking that it's just one singular person or one singular company doing this. No, they're grabbing reviews from all over the internet and just putting it into an algorithm to give it a score. Honestly, I think you guys enjoy it. And as far as the critic score, I mean, what I say is too low. I understand where people are coming from when they say they hate this movie. I understand it completely. Like, if you were to say you didn't enjoy this movie at all, I understand exactly why. I'm kind of on your side. If you say you love this movie to all the way to the moon and back, I don't see that at all. I don't understand that. But I'm not going to shame anybody for I'm not going to shame you guys for loving the movie, but I'm going to really need everybody to stop praising mid. And, like, we're really embarrassing ourselves here, guys. We're really letting Kevin Feige just walk all over us at this point.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Not really give us the content that we deserve. This movie deserved to be on a much bigger spectacle, a much bigger platform than it was. This movie deserved to be much more grander, much more broader. This movie deserved to be so much more than what we got. I'm solely disappointed. I loved Kang though, but I'm sorry, Kang was not enough for me to walk away from this film saying, oh my god, yeah, like that thing was freaking phenomenal. Kang, well, I am excited for what is to come in Kang, and both end credit scenes are phenomenal. You guys need to stay for both of them. I'm excited for what's to come with Kang, but due to the fact that this is an entry film movie and this is the first movie of Phase 5, they can't do much with him. Like I said, I personally feel like Kang was just the wrong choice of a villain. Kang could have been introduced towards the end of the film. I feel like if we would have had somebody else kind of doing Kang's work, if MODOK honestly would have been the focal villain in the film and then Kang kind of comes out from behind the scenes at the end, I feel like that would have made for a way better movie than the one we got. Just save Kang towards the end, let MODOK be the villain. Felt like that would have honestly, I thought, yeah, MODOK could have been the villain of this film. That probably would have ended up a lot better, at least story-wise, because story-wise, they don't care about it at all. Overall, guys, it's the same lazy, repetitive crap that we've been getting from all the mid Marvel projects that have come out lately, and honestly, at some point, I'm really hoping it stops. But for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantummania a 2.75 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, so Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, did you see it? What did you think about it? Guys, what are your suggestions on how Marvel can turn this whole thing around? Because my prediction is, if Marvel continues to go down this road or this path that they've drawn for themselves, and Jonathan Majors is really just going to backpack the entire MCU for this entire next phase, I'm going to be real with y'all. James Gunn's DC is probably going to take over as the favorites in the superhero world after this, after he gets his universe kicked off. I'm going to be real with y'all. It could definitely go that way. While I'm not too ecstatic for that Flash trailer, well, I mean, the Flash trailer is pretty good. If, for whatever reason, that the Flash movie is as good as, people are hyping up that trailer to be, yeah, Marvel's in trouble, because it's something's got to change. Something's got to give. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the movie. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that stuff and so much more, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.